As we near the end of the Summer Olympic Games in Rio, it's not too hard to notice that there haven't been as high of an Olympic fever among the Korean public as previous Olympics or other international sporting events held before. Is it the huge time difference between Seoul and Rio, or what is it? Why the mediocre Olympic fever this time around? Our news feature tonight with Hwang Hojun.
It became a familiar sight in 2002 when Korea hosted football's World Cup, massive crowds cheering in the streets of Seoul. In fact, the country's enthusiastic cheering for its national team during international sporting events has attracted a great deal of attention around the world. We are now down to just a couple more days until the Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro closes out its 16-day run. This is also when the Olympic fervor reaches its peak. Well, so has been the case in many previous summer games. Well, what about Rio 2016? We hit the streets of Seoul to find out how people are enjoying this year's games.
I know that games are happening, but I still don't really feel the excitement. My friends and I barely talk about the Olympics. My family doesn't really watch the games either.
So I've been in Korea for 3 days now, I think, and I kind of was expecting that people would be like gathering in public places and watching some games, but I haven't seen any of that.
One particular mainstay for Korean sports fans whenever the national team competes is fried chicken. And it's perhaps an indicator of this apparent change in attitude. On Wednesday night, the Korean men's table tennis team faced Germany for the bronze medal. The match was set for 11 p.m. Korea time, yet there were plenty of empty seats at this fried chicken restaurant in downtown Seoul.
The so-called Olympic premium isn't true this year. The number of customers and delivery requests is practically the same as before the games.
25 minutes into the bronze medal match, and still, no one had asked to put on the Olympics.
Trying to earn money nowadays is exhausting, so I feel like I'm prioritizing my quality of life over the athletes competing for Korea. It's not like their medals will change my life.
The lack of Olympic fervor is also evident in the record low ratings for the Olympic TV coverage by Korea's 3 main networks. In the past, ratings for the London and Beijing Olympics were around 20 to 30%. As of Tuesday, however, the ratings had barely made 16%. One reason for the low viewership is that fewer people are staying up late to watch the games live, and more are using mobile apps and online platforms to track the results.
For me, it's enough to just watch the highlights on my smartphone in the morning to get the final results. But lose sleep to watch live? That would have a devastating effect on my routine the next day.
User traffic has increased about 150% during the Olympics. Most users are consuming edited clips of match highlights. Since it's a mobile platform, not many people are looking to watch an entire event.
Low ratings usually translate into low ad revenues. And considering the networks paid the IOC over $40 million to broadcast the Olympics, many are expecting losses this year for the networks. Some have blamed low viewership on the 12-hour time difference between Seoul and Rio. But according to the experts, it's much more complicated. They say the combination of the recent economic slump and high unemployment has young people focusing more on their own well-being than on entertainment. In other words, the young don't have time for the Olympics.
You could say the reason people are watching the games has changed for the better. It's purely for entertainment and the love of sport. Unless it's a match that they're interested in, people don't watch just because the Korean team might beat another country's team. That's not a good enough reason anymore.
This year, we might not hear the late-night cheering next door or see neighbors celebrating in the streets. But in 2 years' time, that may change when the Winter Olympics come to Pyeongchang. Hwang Hojun, Arirang News.